Welcome back, comrades, to DIY by NZguy, where workspace is always at a premium. Today is a special episode, 100 subscriber special, and I've got a little treat for you. We'll come back to this at the end of the video, eh? Good old faithful. So, I have a new job. I'm doing some kind of work at the moment, and I notice that I keep using number 10 wrench. You know, it's a good tool, very useful, but then I notice I also use Phillips number 2 and a flathead. What's the best way to improve your workflow? Is minimize the tool changes. So I figured I'd take this old one that I have lying around and we're gonna incorporate it together. So you have one tool in your hand and you can do all those 3 tasks: prying things, untwisting little screws and everything, and doing the bolts or nuts, whichever one you prefer to do. I don't judge. So yeah, stick around guys and I'll show you what I'm trying to do, and we'll see if it's gonna actually work, so you can learn something. What I'm thinking of is I've got this wrench, I've got this bit, and somehow I need to add it in. So what I'm thinking, when you look from the top, drilling your hole directly vertical and grinding this one down so that it's gonna fit in here somewhere. Okay, so and then we're just gonna drill a hole, make it nice and tight, chamfer this one so it's just a little bit oversized, and just hammer it in nice and tight, and then grind it on the inside to match the grooves, and Bob's your uncle. Sorry if you didn't quite catch that, but yeah, just gonna hammer it in. On the other side you can't really do that with this, so what I'm thinking, I'll save my screwdriver and actually just gonna grind it down. So I'll keep it straight, so just taking a tip and say we grind off here, then here, and then grind off the rest. So when you have, so what we're gonna end up with, hopefully, is like a little bit of a screwdriver head. This side doesn't get used much, hence I'm more relying on this side to do the bolts and nuts at tail mill. So I think if we muck around with this side, we're going to have a flathead, and yeah, flathead 10mm and a Phillips one. I think it's going to be a great little tool. Imagine that, coming to do your work, everybody's rummaging around trying to find a screwdriver, and you just whip this baby out and done. I think this will be a great addition to my toolbox. So I'm just gonna cut this off like I already did, jam that into the drill, and use my trusty old grinder just to grind it down and then chamfer it just to, you know, a decent size that I want. Obviously, if you look at them side by side, this is quite big, so I gotta have at least, you know, maybe 4 mils. And then if I square it off, and then or something like that, we'll see. Once I do that, I do want it pretty small. This is about 6. I do want to go down to maybe 3.5 or 4. So a little bit of grinding, but I'll show you how it looks like in a sec. So there we go. For this project, I brought out my trusty old steel caliper. Okay, show me the good news. It's about 5mm in there, which means if I drill, say, you know, 5mm or a little bit tighter, I can like 4.5, I can hammer this in and it'll be perfect. Thing is, this is quite hard steel, chrome vanadium steel, so it is quite hard. I might have to just grind off this top bit because that's the hardest part. Just gonna grind it real quick, but I do want it to be nice and straight when I do the work, so it can't be just facing on an angle in this direction. It has to go perfect. So I'm just going to give it a quick touch up and then we'll see how it looks. Here we go. Oh, I thought it was chrome plated, but I think that's the steel. So we'll try to put a little bit of a center punch on there and then come back to our good old faithful. Hey, get out of here. Shove it in, jam this in somehow, and see if this baby can take it. But I hope I don't ruin too many drill bits, because I only got a few. Here we go. Got a 2mm drill bit. Got a little center punch on there. I'm gonna give it a go. See how it goes. Yeah. And that's walking, fellas. I'm just gonna add a little bit of extra light. Focus. Focus. Okay. Come on, don't walk on me. Nah. I think I might have to kind of hold that one. Calm down on this. Oh. So yeah, sorry fellas, I can't do this with one hand and one hand on a phone. We're gonna have to do it and come back to you. Come on, focus you. It actually went through easier than I thought. I thought the drill bit was really gonna struggle. But it's only 2 mils, so we need to expand it to 4.5. So I'll do nice and slow. I'll go like 3 and then 4 and then 4.5. So I want to take nice and easy. Once I get to 4, I want to see how big the hole is. If it's encroaching too close to the edges, I might better grind off the screwdriver bit rather than completely hollow those out, and that's where it's gonna snap once I start hammering it in. So yeah, let's give it a go and we'll see. So just attempting to drill with a 4mm. Not too sure what's happening, but something's giving way. Woo! And she's definitely hot. Okay, I think it's the cheap drill bit. Focus. It's completely burning through. I might have to find something better. Surprised that the 2mm went through, but 4mm is just burning itself out on the steel. Let's have a closer look what it looks like. Okay, so the edges are alright, but I still want to have a nice decent hole, so I might look for a better quality drill bit. So stick around, I'll see what I can find. Alright, let's try that again. No. And we're in. Woo! That was a toughie. This is a more expensive focus drill bit that I purposely bought just in case I break the 4mm, and this is feels like, yeah, better steel than those cheaper ones. And yeah, it still struggles. Let's see. The hole looks alright. Let's try that little one. Okay, let's focus, please. Let's see. So you see, it kind of fits. Okay, it's not too bad. The edges, they're about 1.5 mil on here and 2.5 on there. So I don't have another quality 4.5, and I don't want to ruin any of my cheap ones, because I actually do need them for future use. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna grind this one down, and then yeah, just see if hammer it in. Just keep practicing. I'm just gonna make sure that everything is nice and straight. I have that straight in how I want it, and then I'll continue. So a little bit of grinding, and unfortunately I overdid it. So as you can see, it's tight, but that's not how far I wanted to go. I want it actually to be, you know, a little bit tighter, maybe here somewhere. Focus. And then I hammer on the rest of the way, and then it should be pretty tight. In any case, I'm gonna look for another one. I think I had one. See if I can redo that again. Shouldn't be too hard. In the meantime, I do have one of these little grinders, and I do have a tiny diamond bit. I'm just going to use that to tidy up the wrench, the inwards or the innards. I'm not sure if you can see, but yeah, they're a bit gunky, so I'm just going to use that to tidy that up first, and then I'll look for the bit that I can sacrifice. Yeah, that's an old one, and I did find a new one. Luckily I bought a whole bunch of these for like real cheap. So let's have a look. Focus please, focus, thank you. So yeah, it's getting in there a little bit tight, which is good. And I did hollow out a few corners, trying to make it squarish, but I'm no expert at this, so it's close enough. Grind it off on the inside, so things should still work. That's the idea. I'm gonna cut this one shorter by about there. So I'm gonna cut it shorter. Okay, and I'm gonna put a little tiny taper on it, just a square taper on there. So once it goes in, it should grab onto those square edges and hammer it in. It shouldn't move anywhere. At least that's the idea, and that's what I'm hoping for. So let's put that on. But first I'm just gonna mark. So put a mark on there just so I know where the square is. Otherwise, once you rotate it, you have no idea where the one part is. So that should be a little bit of a guide, just to let me know that this is top. Turn 90 degrees, that's one side, 190 more another side, and so on and so forth. So let's give that a go and see how it works out. So the final touch-ups, I'm just doing it with a file, a hand file, because I don't want to overgrind it again. We already have one casualty. It's getting there. So it's getting nice and tight. So what I'm gonna do is gonna just chop that bit off, just around there, and then hammer the rest of the way in. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that started. So it goes on a bit like that. We don't want to smash out the front tip because we kind of need it. So I'm gonna use a hammer, but first I'll put a little bit of a screw. It's gonna match. It should help mitigate the damage to the tip, hopefully, and we'll see how it goes. So a few good whacks. It's going in, but nice and tight. So I'm just gonna keep hammering until it gets all the way down. Here's the result. I've been hammering on the screw. It broke a few times, but at least the thing is in. Just gonna use that same grinder that I have, tidy up on the inside, and then we'll test it out. I'll try to knock this a little bit off, but I'm afraid it might be stuck on there because I did have to wheel quite hard. Even got a few dents. Okay, alright, let's see what happens, eh? There we go, a quick grind down later. And come on baby, fit. There we go. It fits in alright. Maybe hitting a few rough spots, but most importantly it goes on and comes out. So I'm just gonna try and grind off this bit of a screw, and it's gonna look good. And I nicked the tip a bit, but should be okay. Problem is, this is just the first trial, hence the screwdriver isn't on straight. Aww. But I'm quite happy how it's turning out. It still should be able to perform the task, find a hole. So it'll be interesting to test it out and see how it works. We just gotta grind this baby down to make it a flathead. Here we go. Now we have a flathead on the end of a screwdriver. It's not perfect, ideal, but in a tough spot it might help you out. Got a Phillips number 2 on the other end. Most importantly, the wrench for the 10mm, which is the most common one. And we can still use this end for 10mm if it works. But I might review this tool on some other video. At this stage, thanks for watching, guys. This has been DIY by NZ Guy. 100 subscriber special. I hope you guys have learned something. Almost forgot, guys. I've been working on something a little bit different. I made some of these right angle. They just help me with assembly. When I put them like on a cabinet here, I can put a little clamp on either side and I'll hold it at 90-degree angle. It's not a perfect, still got a lot of kinks to figure out, but I'm thinking I'm quite happy to give one of these away to whoever puts a comment down below. Obviously I can't ship outside of New Zealand, so New Zealand only, please. It's just yeah, that's why it's DIY by NZ Guy, eh? Makes sense. So for the next week, if you place a comment and just let me know which color you like, the red or the black, and then I'll try to get in touch with you, give you an email, so ask for your address to ship it to, and then we'll go from there. How about that? A freebie on behalf of a 100 subscribers special. Okay, obviously you got to be a subscriber. Okay, so thanks, guys, and I hope you win.